The applicants are awaiting trial for the murder of the well-known soccer player Mr. Senzo Mayiwa, and as I've said, they are currently incarcerated at the CMAX maximum security facility of the Kgosi Mampuru 2 management area. CMAX comprises of 284 cells that measure approximately 2 by 2 in size. Prisoners are housed in these cells individually, and on the applicant's version, they are detained in their cells for more than 22 hours per day. The first applicant was transferred from Johannesburg Medium B to CMAX on 4 December 2020. He has therefore spent almost 4 years in CMAX. In contrast, the second applicant has been in CMAX for a little over a year. The first applicant is apparently incarcerated at CMAX due to his high risk profile. On the papers before me, there is no evidence that justifies classification. The first applicant says that he has effectively been held in solitary confinement for 4 years. He says that he suffered a mental breakdown on 7 October 2024 and that the strain of solitary confinement for such a prolonged period has left him unable to concentrate, severely stressed, with feelings of fear and hopelessness and suffering from insomnia. Due to his mental health issues, he has apparently been unable to provide his counsel in the criminal trial with instructions in the matter. The result is that the criminal trial has been interrupted. The applicant paints a dire picture of his confinement at CMAX. He says that for 22 hours per day he has no contact with other persons. He says they have access to reading material, radio or television. On occasion he is allowed 1 hour exercise in a cage. He is allowed a cold water shower in a cage for 2 minutes per day. His telephonic contact with family members is limited to 10 minutes, twice per month, and 2 in-person visits of 30 minutes each per month. He is only allowed to consult with his legal team for an hour, twice per month. The respondents deny the first applicant's allegations. Specifically, the respondents say that the applicants are not in solitary confinement or in segregation. This is semantics. If the circumstances amount to solitary confinement or segregation, call it what you will, it remains solitary confinement or segregation. As far as the first applicant's mental health challenges are concerned, the respondents take a rather supine attitude. They say that if he has such problems, which they deny, he could have approached all manner of specialists. Considering that the Act places an obligation upon correctional services to see to a prisoner's well-being, the rather no-care attitude of the respondents is alarming. However, as I have said, I do not intend to make a statement regarding the circumstances in CMAX. That is for the reviewing court to consider, and I will not tread outside the ambit of this application for interim relief. Suffice it to say that there is no dispute that a prisoner who is incarcerated in CMAX enjoys far less privileges and is subject to harsher circumstances than prisoners in normal maximum security centres. Urgency. The respondents have argued that the matter is not urgent. They say so on 2 grounds. Firstly, the applicants have been imprisoned in these same circumstances for a long time, in the case of the first applicant for years, and any urgency, the respondents say, is self-created. Secondly, they argue that it would make no difference to the applicants if they were detained at CMAX until the review application in Part B is heard. I have been referred to the judgment in Simon versus National Commissioner, in which the applicant applied to be transferred that his continued incarceration there amounted to torture. The court held that the urgency was self-created, in that it had apparently taken the applicant months that he was being tortured. The applicant's delay in bringing the application timelessly was therefore fatal to the matter, and the application was struck from the roll. As will be seen below, this matter is distinguishable on the facts from Simon. Although the first applicant says that his incarceration amounts to torture in terms of Rule 43 of the United Nations Standard Minimum Rules for the Treatment of Prisoners, the so-called Nelson Mandela Rules, his case really hinges on the allegation that his further incarceration at CMAX is in conflict with the respondent's own standard operating procedures that only allow for the incarceration of a prisoner in CMAX for 18 months, save in certain exceptional circumstances. The first applicant has been years. In my view, if a prisoner is incarcerated unlawfully, an application to rectify the position is inherently urgent. I will deal hereunder with the averment that the first applicant is unlawfully incarcerated. The first applicant has also alleged that the conditions under which he is incarcerated have caused him to suffer a mental breakdown. The allegation is denied by the respondents in a perfunctory manner, but they have made no effort to investigate the first applicant's complaints. They do not believe that the first applicant's averment should be rejected out of hand. I find that, as far as the first applicant is concerned, the matter is urgent. The same cannot be said for the second applicant. Although he says that he is also the victim of the same allegedly inhumane circumstances in CMAX,